Ho ho!
Welcome to the AlphaNerd podcast. I'm your main host, Kyle, along with my gaming co-host, Andrew.
Hello.
And we are on the fourth week of our AlphaNerd Christmas.
4 weeks. It's almost like Christmas is right around the corner.
So today's episode, we're going to be talking about the game that we chose for this month, which was Cthulhu Saves Christmas. But before that, we're going to get right into the news of everything, which is the Game Awards of 2022.
So I watched the Game Awards after it actually aired. I only caught some sections of it because I was working at the same time. And I gotta say, it was nice. They announced a bunch of games that I am 100% going to play that looked really cool. And I'm excited to hear what you thought were the biggest announcements from your perspective.
I have them actually written here from when I watched it live. I watched it live. And
Okay.
Now, thank God it was not a slog like previous years were. Mm-hmm. But it still went almost 3 hours.
I mean, I'm okay with that. The E3 is basically dead, so 1 3-hour game show per year, I'm okay with that.
Fair enough.
I mean, nobody really cares about Tokyo Game Show. I mean, some people do, but
very few people do.
I mean, there's still an Xbox and a Sony reveal in the springtime, but what if a game doesn't fit into one of those or doesn't pay to be part of those or whatever? Game Awards being 3 hours is perfectly okay in my opinion.
Yeah, because there's a couple games I was going to talk about that were announced outside of that because of they didn't want to pay to be advertised in it. So let's start with the big winner of the night.
Oh, you want to start with the actual awards, not the review?
Yeah, we'll start with the award, the ones that mattered the most to me.
Game of the year. Game of the year. Come on, Elden Ring. It had to be either Elden Ring or God of War Ragnarok. We discussed this on the last show, and Elden Ring winning is the least surprising victory in the history of victories, aside from when Breath of the Wild was part of Game of the Year way back when for the Game Awards. So it was like, Breath of the Wild's going to win. Like, no.
Yeah. I don't know. I was cutting it really close with Ragnarok.
I actually have I borrowed a friend of mine's copy of Ragnarok. I haven't actually started it yet since I've been so busy. And I will let you know on probably the next show what I think between Elden Ring and Ragnarok, because Elden Ring is basically my favorite game of all time. If it's not my favorite game of all time, I'm having trouble thinking of what my actual favorite game of all time is. It is an incredible game. It's breathtaking, and it's not even an incredible game for a Souls game. Like, it's just an incredible game. The fact that it's a Souls style game is an after effect of it. If there wouldn't have been Souls games and that came out, they would just call it like some epic sweeping fantasy action adventure game.
Yeah.
One day you'll need to play Elden Ring, Kyle. I think you would eventually enjoy it.
Yeah, I've been leaning more towards it.
It is an investment, though, in time. Game is huge. I play games really, really fast, and it still took me about 50, 60 hours to 100% it.
Yeah, that just worked against you there.
I like to 100% Souls games, and yeah. I've seen people be like, oh, I finally got 100%. It only took me 140 hours. I was like, okay, I can understand that. If you're not great at the Souls style combat, I can see that taking that many hours.
Yeah, fair enough. So,
Elden Ring also won for best game direction.
Yeah, it won a couple things, didn't it? It won game direction,
best art direction.
Yeah. I was hoping they would give it, because wasn't Xenoblade 3 in that listing there too?
Yeah, Xenoblade 3 was actually only in Game of the Year, and I'm really sorry.
No, I thought it was in best art direction too, or soundtrack. It was in one of them.
It's not in art direction. It's not in narrative.
Definitely not narrative.
Yeah, go God no. I don't see it. It's not in any of these lists. It was only in Game of the Year apparently. Oh wait, it's in Best RPG,
That's it.
which it lost to Elden Ring.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which it lost to Elden Ring.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, yeah, that happened. Did you see the very end though with the kid?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton.
Yeah, that he nominated.
Yeah, that was hilarious. So the fact that he could actually get on that stage raises a lot of security concerns for the Game
Well,
Awards.
he promptly got arrested after that.
Yeah, he did. But I'm gonna point out the fact that he could get there is the bigger problem. It's not that they arrested him afterwards. That's a thumbs up. They should have done that anyways. The fact that he made it to that stage, that's a very bad look. Somebody should have just been like, "Hey, the Elden Ring team is coming up to accept their award for Game of the Year, and there's some
Clearly not a
16-year-old
Japanese
kid."
kid.
Yeah, right. Like,
It's clearly not Japanese by any means.
there's this like 16-year-old kid going up with them. Perhaps we should check and make sure he's supposed to be with them.
Yep, nobody said anything. That kid stood there for that entire speech, and no one said a word.
You know, good for that kid. He at least waited his turn. Like,
Yeah, he did.
he didn't just like Baba Booey it like immediately. So
Yeah,
good for him, I guess. If I was Jeff Keighley, I would be finding out where my security company was at that point in time, and also getting a refund.
yeah.
So other stuff at the Game Awards. The fact that Stray got in Game of the Year and Best Game Direction and Best Art Direction, like Stray is a very mediocre game. Like it's very mid-level. I don't understand how it reached any of those heights, aside from there's a cat in it and you play as a cat and there's a meow.
And thus you just solved the puzzle.
It's just so weird. Like the Game of the Year selection, a Plague Tale Requiem. Okay, I've played like a little bit of Requiem, and I mean it's good, it's great. It's not near Elden Ring, and I assume Ragnarok. Horizon Forbidden West. I played Horizon Forbidden West. That game should not appear on a Game of the Year list. Stray should also not appear on a Game of the Year list, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That's a game that should appear on a Game of the Year list if you are strictly talking about JRPGs.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think of other games that should have been on the Game of the Year list. These were apparently nominated from industry professionals. And I just got to say, what the hell, industry professionals?
I think it was just a clear way to give defined losers. Like, hey, you know these guys aren't going to win against this game.
So I will say, for Best Narrative, somebody nailed it and got Immortality on that list. And I talked about Immortality a while ago. That is a fantastic game in terms of narrative. And that being on there is great. Somehow Horizon Forbidden West also got Best Narrative, which is just the dumbest thing I can possibly think of. That's the odd one out on that list. The rest of them are fine. Horizon Forbidden West under Best Narrative is just... No, it's not. It's not... It does not tell a good story. I'm sorry.
No, and I did a watch through of the entire story, and it's not good.
It's not.
It's very cookie cutter. It's nothing special. It's not... But this is also my issue with it. I mean, I had a moment was it last year that Last of Us 2 won Game of the Year?
See, I agree with that one.
I know you do.
We've had our conversation about that, but I do agree with that one. By the way, are you excited for the TV show?
Yes.
That's a great caged yes right there.
Because they could easily ruin it, just like they do with a lot of things.
They could easily ruin it. But I mean, Pedro Pascal as Joel is a great choice. Come on, that's inspired. The girl playing Ellie, she looks correct in the role. I don't think I've seen her in anything else, so I don't really know her acting capabilities. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the other one I'm looking forward to, and I'm hoping we get to watch, is the BioShock show.
Oh, yeah, there's a BioShock TV show. I forgot about that. And that's a very good segue, because you saw Judas, didn't you?
Yep, that's actually the first one on my list of games to talk about for games they spoiled and revealed and shown. And I'm super excited.
I am very excited as well, because A, Ken Levine hasn't done anything in like a decade or more. And B, I appreciate. So there was during the time of all the big studio exposés. One of the exposés came out about Ghost Story Games, which is the blank check game development company that I think 2K gave to Ken Levine after the Bioshock series. And basically, the expose wasn't that Ken Levine sucked as a person. They were like, yeah, he's kind of shitty, but it was more just he can't stand his ideas not being perfect. So like they'd work on a game for like a year and then he'd just cancel it because he didn't like it. He was like, this isn't my vision or what I really want, and then he just can it. So the fact that he actually has a game coming out, one that is pretty much just Bioshock but renamed, I am very excited. A narrative-driven single-player first-person shooter that is just another Bioshock and might actually be good.
In space.
In space, yeah, but I mean it's a Bioshock. So all the Bioshocks, aside from 2, which was a kind of a quick cash-in, they all. Oh come on! Bioshock 2 was a cash-in.
Bioshock 2 was absolutely cash-in, but it was still good.
I actually have never beaten it. I've gotten 3/4 of the way through, and the PC version before they did the remaster of it, it used to be so badly broken that there was like soft locks, you couldn't proceed, it would just crash. I haven't played the remastered version.
You should play through it. You should finish it.
Maybe I will at some point.
It's worth it.
So I'm really curious to see what Judas is about because Ken Levine has given GDC talks, Game Developer Conference talks, for like the past 10 years about how he wants like dynamic narratives where playthroughs of the game are not identical. Like players have an agency to kind of craft their own story throughout the game. That's what he wanted for his next title. And the description here talks about making and breaking alliances with your enemies. I'm really curious if a big part of the game is like dynamic stories based on your relationship with different factions. If so, that could be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really curious. I thought it looked great. I watched the trailer. I was like, all right, I'm on board with this. As much as Infinite was a very fun first playthrough that really fell down after you finished it. Because you're like, why did this game told this deep narrative story that really didn't need guns whatsoever.
I mean,
the ending also sucked in Infinite. Like, defend this
no,
boat.
it did not.
It did.
Fuck you.
The last encounter where you're on the airship and you have to just defend the 3 points.
Okay, the last game battle was a letdown.
Yeah, that sucked. The ending was good.
Okay. Now we're on the same page. It was just a slog combat arena for the last fight of the game.
Yeah,
I will give you that.
I liked the DLC a lot.
The ending itself was amazing.
I did. I liked the narrative of Infinite. The actual storyline was good. The problem is there was a really big disconnect between the gameplay and the storyline in Infinite, and it felt not great. Like it's like this is a first-person shooter, but it's trying to tell this like calm story like about a father and daughter lost through space and time and all this other stuff, and it was just like let's do gun stuff.
Yeah, but I mean the part when you finally go through the next world and Booker DeWitt's a martyr for the Vox Populi, I feel like that was the perfect time for the combat and stuff.
I mean, yeah, but
that wasn't disconnected as much.
I will still argue that game could have been anything else than a shooter, and it would have been better for it.
I can't agree with you on
that. Fair, touche. So,
but
how do you feel about Hades 2, Kyle? Have you played Hades?
I've never played Hades.
You are like one of the 3 people in the world who has not played Hades.
Oh well, I will continue to be that third. I'll probably get around. Listen, I didn't play Ori and the Blind Forest until.
All right, Hades is incredible. I will point out.
I know, but
so I love Hades. I actually bought it the day it launched, way back in I think 2019 when it launched into early access. I'm a huge Supergiant Games fan. Okay,
you are.
I loved Pyre. I loved Transistor, Bastion. Like great games. Hades was pretty much the best game they've ever made in terms of sales. That game sold like 80 times more than any of their previous games. They got out of being an art house place and finally hit mass market. And so for Supergiant's reveal to be a Hades 2, I got to be fair, very clear. I'm very excited to play Hades 2. I also think the world doesn't need a Hades 2. Hades 1 was perfect.
Yeah, well, now you're getting Hades 2 where you have to kill Kronos.
Yeah, Hades 2 is a cash in. Supergiant had a hit and they realized they want to make more money. And so they are making Hades 2. That disappoints me because Supergiant makes these incredibly detailed, gorgeous, cohesive worlds in their games. And every game is a new chance to experience that insanely well-developed world building and narrative that Supergiant delivers. And the fact that it's just Hades Part 2, and now you are killing Kronos instead of trying to escape, is very disappointing. I want to see new worlds for Supergiant. I understand that they need to pay the bills, but I also understand that Hades made an insane amount of money.
Now, are you completely against this game, or
No, absolutely not. I'll buy it and I'll play it. I am just disappointed in them. I am sad that Supergiant is, I mean, they are a business. They want to make money. I get it 100%. I'm not upset with them about that. I'm just upset that I'm not going to see a new, beautiful, haunting world from them. I'm just going to see Hades 2.
Yeah, well, that's what you get sometimes.
Yeah, that's how it be.
So with the the next game, I'm gonna go to the second game on my list because I only had two. I really was three. The one was just kind of mediocre, looking forward to, but the one I'm really looking forward to is Bayonetta Origins, Cereza.
I saw that Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Laws of Demon.
Mm-hmm.
I have zero feeling about this. When I saw the trailer, my actual reaction was, okay, that sure is a game.
That's gonna be a game, all right.
That's a game that'll appear on the Switch March 17th, 2023. I have no opinion on this. It does not appeal to me in any way, shape, or form. And I'm good. I'm solid on it. I actually went to play Bayonetta 3 this past weekend. And I sat down, I picked up my Pro Controller, and the battery was dead. And I took that as a sign that I shouldn't play Bayonetta 3. My Pro Controller, I think, is charged now. I'm going to try and get a crack at it on Saturday. But I feel like the winds of fate were telling me something there. And I think the actual lesson was probably charge my Pro Controller more often.
Yeah, well, look, fucker. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to give it 1 hour.
Okay.
If you still feel the same about it, I do not hold it against you if you stop playing it completely.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna.
But I do ask you go through a.
I'm gonna go through another hour.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, but I do ask if you can't make it through actually playing the game, that you go through a storyline video and see the whole story, so you can critique it with me, because I feel like you really need to know, so you can help bust this game's balls with me.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's Cereza game or Cereza game. I hated it. I just stared at it and I'm like, the world doesn't need this game.
I mean, I'm gonna get it and play it.
You know what the world needs though? Death Stranding 2.
Ah, that's the one.
All right. I despise Hideo Kojima's narrative storytelling, unedited narrative storytelling. And yet, Death Stranding 2 is like my reveal. That is the thing that got me the most hyped in the Game Awards. Because for the life of me, I don't particularly understand why, but Death Stranding is one of my favorite games ever. I played through it 3 times on different platforms. I played it on PlayStation. I played it on PC twice. I love that game, and I do not understand why. So the fact that there's just now a second one where you got a freaking like ship that can go through the weird death fluid, I'm on board. Also, with Sam Bridges now apparently being like 60 to 70 years old, and yet still ripped.
Well, yeah, you've played Metal Gear, right?
Yes. Every Kojima old man takes so many steroids. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna circle back around to what you said, that you hate Kojima's narrative unedited.
Unedited is the key point there. I want to be very clear. When he moved to
He-
Kojima Productions, he clearly dumped the editors Konami forced upon him. And oh my god, every single time when somebody in Death Stranding has to explain something to you, like why your name is like Dick Hardman, uh, it's so painful.
yes, but this. I'm gonna give you my, I'd say, guess or theory on why you like his stuff. Because you liked Hades, you like Supermassive a lot for the great worlds they create. I believe this is why you like Kojima's writing. Like, you hate his narrative because it just slogs and takes forever. But he has always been amazing at writing a world and creating a
I mean, yeah, you're
character.
right.
And
You are correct. Like the world of Death Stranding is honestly extremely creepy. Like it's weird, it's dissonant, it's creepy. It's this cool mix of high tech and post apocalypse and like religious symbolism. It's very well executed from a high level. And then he does just dumb stuff like Die Hard Man or any of the 30 other characters that are just the weirdest caricature of whatever Kojima thought was fun at the time. And then the character it needs to explain where their name comes from in the first meeting.
yeah, but like I said, I cannot. I've always liked all his games. I love the Metal Gear Solid franchise.
Have you played Death Stranding?
I did not play Just Stranding because I didn't own a PS anything.
It's on PC now.
It's on PC now,
Yeah.
but it's already spoiled out for me, so I'm over it.
But I mean, you gotta try it. You gotta play it. You'll not know the feeling of hauling too much gear and then tripping on a rock and falling off a cliff.
I've seen it plenty of times.
No, but you have to experience this,
Listen, when you can fully experience some of the games I've made you play through
Kyle.
that you've quit on,
I quit on those games for good reasons. Thank you very much.
okay?
Okay, complete aside, what is your opinion on Idris Elba joining Cyberpunk 2077's expansion pack?
It's such a. Listen, I'm telling you this now.
Okay.
I hate Cyberpunk 2077 for so many reasons.
What about Idris Elba? Do you like Idris Elba?
Oh yeah, he's on my top 5.
Oh, I bet he's on your top 5.
Oh yeah, that man. I would bend my sexuality for him.
There you go. It would actually it wouldn't just bend, it would break.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt. So my thing is, like, Cyberpunk was such a trash fire, and everyone hated it, and they started to fix it. But people still hated it and were on it for what it was. It was a trash fire that they shouldn't have released when they did. And then with the Netflix adaptation coming out, so many people liked that all they did was pull it off for like a day or two, rebrand everything to focus on those characters and put them in the game in some aspect. If you go and look at the Steam page right now, it focuses on the anime.
Well, it focuses on the anime because the last patch they did was the Edge Runners patch.
I know, but what I'm saying is they use that as a way to get the game back.
Oh yeah,
in.
yeah. Let's be very clear. So Cyberpunk eventually got patched to the point where it's pretty fixed up at the moment, but nobody was playing it because of its bad launch. Edge Runners rehabilitated its image.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk wouldn't be where it is. They wouldn't even have announced that. I mean, Cyberpunk the sequel was a given basically from the pre-orders alone, but they've already announced the sequel and an expansion pack, mainly because of on the strength of Edgerunners reviving interest in the game. After, I mean, like I said, it was already pretty fixed. It's still not a great game. Like, I have played through it twice, once with all the patches, one with no patches, and I gotta say, it's still not great. Like, they could have done a better job in a lot of cases, in a lot of places. I get that a game like that is incredibly complex, but Witcher 3 was better than that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Witcher
And
3, and I
Witcher
didn't.
3 came out in what, 2016, 17?
15 came out in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I Cyberpunk 2077 was I like the game after all the patches, but I still don't think it's a great game, if you know
Fair
what
enough.
I mean.
Yes.
I'm going to get the expansion pack because whatever, I enjoyed my time with it. But I saw Idris Elba and I'm like, all right, that's cool. I see they're bringing in another big name because apparently they have to tentpole all their Cyberpunk games like that. And he's playing there with Keanu. Keanu's going to be in there too.
Well, he knows Kung Fu.
Is that your Keanu voice?
Yeah, bro, I know Kung Fu.
Did you play Star Wars Jedi? What was it, Jedi Outcast?
No.
Or whatever that was?
No, and no, and no, and I have no interest in this next one.
Okay, I was gonna say I played the original and I thought it was good. I didn't think it was anything amazing. I think Jedi Survivor is gonna be fine. I really don't have any other strong opinion on it though.
I'm kind of Star Wars'd out because the last 3 movies were not great.
Yeah, I gotta say, I am very much the same. Star Wars as a property, I think Disney is just kind of grinding it into a paste. And I honestly, the TV show Andor is probably the best Star Wars thing that's been made since Disney bought the license. I liked Andor a lot. I thought Andor was very good.
I'll have to watch it, but I really like The Mandalorian.
I didn't like The Mandalorian that much, actually. For a variety of reasons, but this is not the show for that one, Kyle.
Yes.
So all right. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Kyle.
I really like they left Kevin Conroy's voice in it. I still have no interest in this game.
I think it's gonna be a terrible freaking game. I appreciate that Kevin Conroy's in it, and I think that might be his last performance, which I honestly am kind of thinking might be a shame because every single thing I've seen about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, it's basically the one game Insomniac made a while ago that I really liked. It's just that, but in a really weird kind of bad format. Every single thing I've seen about it, like all the in-game cinematics, the gameplay, all that stuff, it just looks so disappointing. It looks underwhelming. It looks like they hired, this is going to sound weird, it looks like they hired a cast of B-team actors for the Suicide Squad. Like, Harley Quinn's voice is not right. It sounds really awful.
None of them are right. They all sound off.
It's like they couldn't afford the actual voice actors, but they got Kevin Conroy somehow.
Yeah, but he'll do anything that involved Batman. He was always just about, he didn't give a damn. He just wanted to enjoy being Batman. So I will be picking up a copy.
I will have to pick up a copy because Tristan will force me to.
Picking up a copy because it's the last game that he worked on.
I have to pick up a copy because it has Harley Quinn in it. And Tristan will force me to purchase the game, regardless.
Yeah, so that's the only reason why I'll pick up a copy, and I'll wait till it goes on sale to do so.
I'm not sure I'll be that fortunate, Kyle. I'm not sure I'll be that fortunate.
Right? You don't get to be that fortunate. So, other than that, the musical performance for that was really weird.
The Ragnarok performance?
The chick who did the song right before they did the Diablo 3.
Oh, Diablo 4, you mean?
Yeah, Diablo 4.
Oh, I think I saw a part of that. I didn't see the whole thing.
She's a really shitty rapper.
I don't recall who it was.
Neither do I. I never heard of her, and that she was just really obnoxious. And
Oh, Halsey. It was Halsey, wasn't it?
Yeah, still. You're I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who the fuck this person is.
Yeah. She's not anything. She has her fan base. I am not gonna I'll just say that her music is not anything that I would actively seek out in any way, shape, or form.
Same here.
But Diablo
So
4 looks like it could be interesting. I'm kind of on the edge with it because it's also still Blizzard, and
yep.
Blizzard's kind of still a shit show.
Well, yeah, it's going to be for a while until they fully get everything together. But they also announced, I think, in there the Space Marines game.
Did you play Space Marine 1?
No, I did not.
Okay, it was very average, but a lot of people elevate it more than it was because it was a Warhammer 40,000 game, which there weren't very many at that time. It was very average, like aggressively so. I played it and beat it, and I was like, that was a game where I killed enemies.
Yeah, I definitely spent time on this game.
Like, it wasn't bad, but it also just wasn't a game that I would have, like, right now I'm having trouble remembering most of the parts of it. I don't even remember the ending of it.
Yeah.
A lot of people I know that were Warhammer 40k fans were like, "Oh, this is Warhammer. Oh my gosh, it's amazing."
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
I watched the Space Marines 2 gameplay footage and trailer, and boy, I was whelmed, neither over or under. What else was announced? The Hellboy game. There's a Hellboy game.
I was gonna say there's a bunch of games that were announced outside of the.
Yeah, the Hellboy game looks interesting. It's a roguelite. That's weird. I don't know how to feel about that.
We will see. They also announced Digimon World Next.
Who cares about that?
I do.
No one gives a shit about Digimon.
I do.
No, that's not accurate.
And since they're bringing back some of the original mechanics for the actual Digimon World games, not the shitty, like weird ones, but the Digimon World, which was a really good game series, I'm actually looking forward to this. I'm actually going to maybe give it a try if they've come out with a demo. They released more information about the Mega Man Battle Network collection.
Okay. What's going on with that?
Comes out in March of 2023. It's March or April of 2023.
Okay.
That may be an early birthday present for you, or late. I can't remember exactly which day your birthday's on.
It's okay.
I don't have my calendar in front of me, but because I think you would enjoy those games. I think they'd be a great games, and I guess it's all of them. Like, it's all of them.
You know, I've actually only beaten one Mega Man game in my life, and I can't even remember which one it was.
That's sad.
It's not. I've lasted this long in my life, perfectly happy.
Yeah. Well, imagine how much better your life would have been if you beat some Mega Man games.
I'll have to tell Tristan that.
Then they had Dead Cells: Return of to Castlevania.
That looks hilarious. Okay, I don't like Dead Cells, but that had a great trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
That was great. I was like, this is wonderful. There's Dracula.
So there's lots of, and then we have Resident Evil 4 coming up.
Yep, that's March. I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that.
Dead Space remake.
Not excited for that. Not excited for that at all. Everything I see makes it seem like they spent like $5 to do it.
It's just slightly ramped up graphics.
Oh, the voice acting, it sounds horrible.
Yeah. But I've never beaten Dead Space.
Did you get Callisto Protocol?
No, I have not.
Okay, I've heard very mixed things about it.
It's very overwhelmingly mediocre, everyone says. It's like,
yeah, that's what I've heard.
It's not amazing and new revolutionary game where there needs to be a bunch, but they also said it's not bad and it's decent and it's just nothing stand out. So that's on my list of things. I have some stuff to trade in, or if I can get it on sale, I'll get it. But I'm not gonna pee my pants and rush out and get it. What else we got going on? I think that's about it on my end of stuff I saw coming up.
I mean, there was a lot of really cool stuff. I'm excited for a lot of it. Armored Core. I mean, come on, Armored Core Fires of the Rubicon. The fact that it's like a Souls-ish Armored Core, that's gonna be pretty amazing. I think. I'm not even a big Armored Core fan, and
I forgot they revealed Armored Core.
I mean, yeah, that was like one of the big reveals of the show because everyone was expecting Elden Ring DLC,
Yeah,
and
well,
From Software was like, ha 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 ha, no, you don't get that.
Get fucked, losers.
Right? So the fact that they're going back to Armored Core is pretty cool, and it's like an open world Soulsy game or something like that. I don't know. I didn't look too much into it, but yeah, I'll probably pick it up because I mean I like big mechs, and I think From Software makes good games.
Okay.
But
So now let's move on to the main event of the show.
which was what?
Cthulhu Saves Christmas.
Oh, I thought you meant at the Game Awards. I was like so confused.
No.
All right, Cthulhu Saves Christmas. I picked it up on sale for $2. I think it's still on sale for $2 because the Steam Christmas sale is going on right now.
Yes, I saw a lot of things I might want to pick up if I ever get money.
So I beat Cthulhu Saves Christmas in about an hour and 20 some minutes. And I gotta say, I thought it was a delightful game. I 100% felt like it was worth my $2 and my hour and 20 minutes. It is a JRPG. The writing is very hit and miss. Like some of it's pretty funny, and some of it's just
some of it's very meta and funny.
Some of it's very meta and funny, and some of it's you're just like, all right, you've made this joke like for the 20th time. Could you just stop making this exact same joke? Like, yeah, like I get it. Cthulhu's evil. Okay, cool. I get it. Like, you don't need to keep telling me this repeatedly. Yeah. On the other hand, I actually really liked the streamlined JRPG mechanics. I thought it was a very fun game with a cute little combat system where you get fixed skills and then random skills from your remaining skill pool. I thought that added a really cool twist. And most skills you can only use once, and you have to rest or trigger like your armor ability in order to
set up a block.
Yeah, it's like a block. And I think it's called Reset, I believe. But
yes.
Anyways, it was a cute little game. The actual mechanics were fun. The one issue I had was I actually couldn't tell often what enemies were weak against because I didn't know what the icons were at all. Like, I knew fire and ice and air and wind and earth. I understood all those. But what was skull? What was the skull icon?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, exactly. The game didn't really explain what any of the status icons were.
It really didn't need it, though. You didn't need any of that. Like,
no, you didn't.
That's what you could go really simple and just go spam area effect attacks, or you could try to do more intricate stuff. But it was overall really good. Like you said about some of the writing being hit or miss. Yes, the constantly Cthulhu's evil thing. Yes, but there was also some great moments where, you know, he was trying to get his group to sing Christmas carols.
Yeah, that was good.
And he got him to write them in his native tongues that drove people crazy, and then they started singing them and driving people crazy.
Did you do the mall Santa, where Cthulhu was the mall Santa?
Yes, I did.
That was great. That is one thing that made me upset was you couldn't see all the Christmasville or Christmastown interactions in one playthrough.
Yes.
That made me kind of sad. I understand why. I get it. It's an hour-long game. If I really wanted to see them, I'd replay it. But I was sad that I couldn't see all the interactions because some of them are pretty great. Like, it was a cute little game, and I'm sad more people haven't played it because that was a classic Xenovoid style game. Very streamlined. Very, very streamlined. I thought the pixel graphics were fantastic. Yes. I thought the boss reveals were pretty amusing. The final boss was weird. Like, it kind of, in my opinion, came out of nowhere with the writing, but I think that was part of the joke. The joke that it just came out of absolutely nowhere.
Yes, but they kept hinting towards it the whole time, like, oh, the 6 evil Christmas guy.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
They just always made or some of the other good ones. I like that you could go to the assembly hall and meet with like ex-cultists and stuff.
Yeah.
And then try to get them to be back in a cult.
Yeah, there were like so many cool little touches there in that game. I liked the party members. I thought they were pretty cool. Baba Yaga as like some elf chick with a chicken. That was great.
And her whole shtick is she just wanted to steal all the Christmas presents.
Yeah, it was
from other kids.
That was great. That was pretty great. Bell's Nickel. I had never heard of Bell's Nickel. Like, is that an actual like thing?
Um, I never got a chance to look it up because I said the same thing. Because I was like, isn't that Krampus's thing?
Yeah, I thought. Okay, Bell's Nickel is an actual thing. Hold on. Bell's Nickel, a crotchety, fur-clad Christmas gift-bringer in the folklore of the Palatinate region of southwestern Germany along the Rhine.
Yep.
Wow, this is German Santa. And Pennsylvania Dutch Santa.
Yeah. And then he beats kids with a whip.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah, he's like a combo of Santa and Krampus.
Krampus.
Huh. Interesting. I didn't realize he was an actual thing.
Well, now we know.
Well, this game has now taught me something too about Christmas.
So thus it's that much higher in the atmosphere of being a good game.
Yeah.
What else did I like about it? I enjoyed the pseudo visual novel.
Yeah, it is very visual novel-esque in the outside the encounter space things,
which I was really grateful for because then it never
dragged.
It never dragged.
Yeah. Like you were either trying to find a boss and loot, or you were engaged with the visual novel. There was no dead time.
Yes, and it made it very paced. It made it very easy to play and very well paced, which I appreciated it.
Yep. The only time I ever had even a minor issue was with, I think, I want to say the fourth or the fifth evil Christmas person. Their map, it looped me around, and I actually went back to the beginning because I missed the one exit, and the map actually loops otherwise.
I'm trying to think of which one that is.
It was the one with like, I can't describe it. I'm not going to be able to describe it in any effective way, shape, or form.
Well, was it the mouse and the robot? Was it the evil bell?
No, it wasn't the evil bell because the evil bell.
The skeleton horse.
Oh, Mary Lou. I think it might have been the Mary Lou, or however you pronounce that thing. The Welsh horse that comes caroling outside your door, and you have to let it in unless you like beat it in a rap battle. You know, some Christmas traditions are weird.
Yes, they are. So, yeah.
Overall, definitely worth $2. It was a delightful Christmassy game. I had no issues with it whatsoever. It actually made me interested in the sequel they kind of made. It wasn't really a sequel, but the magical girl transformation JRPG they made that apparently is in the same style as Cthulhu.
They also have another game that and that was the other thing I was going to say. I really like the writing because they would plug their own games throughout the game.
Yeah, right.
The one that they plugged that I'm kind of interested in now is called Cosmic Space Heroine.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. It's the magical girl, like Sailor Moon. Yeah. It's isn't that the one that's the magical girl one?
No, this one's the space RPG one.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was mixing those two up. A Cosmic Space Heroine was their last big game, closer to Cthulhu Saves the World, I think. Then they made Cthulhu Saves Christmas, which is a small game, and they made the Magical Girl one, which is also a small game.
Yeah, so with how well I like this, I am going to delve into some of their other properties.
I would do it. I've played Breath of Death 8 and Cthulhu Saves the World, and they were good games. They were long, and Cthulhu Saves the World Saves Christmas was a much better distillation of what they were going for in Cthulhu Saves the World and Breath of Death Part 8, which, by the way, there are no parts 1 through 7. That's the joke. But yeah, that their old games were like long games. I much prefer the distillation, as I said, with Cthulhu Saves Christmas.
Yeah, nice, quick tempoed.
Yeah, I have not played Cosmic Star Heroine. I now know which one you're talking about, though. That was their last big game before they started making kind of smaller games.
Yeah.
But a thumbs up for me for the Cthulhu Saves Christmas. Now, definitely pick it up if you want to spend $2 and be entertained for 1 to 2 hours.
Yes, absolutely.
I have
at some point
I played, by the way. I do have other reviews.
Oh, sweet, go for it.
All right, so I did play and beat a game called Somerville. Have you seen Somerville, Kyle?
No, I have not.
Okay, so have you heard of the game Inside?
Yes.
Okay, imagine Inside, but not good. Ta-da, that's Somerville. So Somerville is made, I think, by a Spanish company. I could not tell you, really. I didn't care enough to check. It is made in the style of Inside, which is the graphics are not particularly detailed. Like, the characters don't have, like, expressive faces or anything. They're kind of like dolls, which was
Yeah.
Inside's shtick. And the color grading is a little bit more muted. And there's no dialogue. That's important, too. There's just creepy sounds and large visuals.
There was not dialogue in Inside either.
Correct. If there's no dialogue. So it's made in that same style, and it's about a family who moved to the countryside. It's a man, a woman, and their toddler and their dog. And they settle into their new home and fall asleep in front of the TV, and then, bam! An alien invasion happens. Like, all these weird monolithic spears come out of the clouds. Like, there are fighters flying through the sky and attacking things. Giant, like, lightning energy spears are hitting the ground everywhere. They're trapped in this house, and a ship crashes into the house. And out of the ship, there's this, like, dying blue dude that the father, the dad, touches the guy's hand when he reaches out, and he seemingly dies. And his family leaves him because he's dead. And then he wakes up. His dog didn't leave him. His dog's still there. And now he has this weird blue energy power that you use to solve puzzles. So there are blue aliens, red aliens, and purple aliens that also seem to be humans. I don't know. The game is very unclear about what these aliens actually are or how people are using their powers. But, like, they seem to imply that the government knew about the aliens and had made alien-powered people, and that's how you're getting your powers, or I don't know. Honestly, it's a mess. Inside leaves you wanting to know more information. Somerville leaves me just confused and upset more than anything. The puzzles are not particularly clever. The design is very promising at the beginning and then just sucks. Honestly, it's not very good. The only good thing that game actually does is the game does not kill the dog. I repeat, it does not kill the dog. The dog makes it to the end. I want to be very...
They then try to go for that low-hanging fruit.
Correct. As soon as the dog became part of the situation, I was like, that dog's gonna die. I am glad that did not happen. I am very happy about that. On the other hand, I played the game for maybe, like, it wasn't very long. I want to say it was a max of 2 hours. It's not worth 2 hours of my time. I thought maybe, like, the ending would make up for it. It does not. It does not at all. It's terrible. I can't recommend the game. It's like a D- Inside. Like, I only give it a D- because it functions. Like, the game actually works and there were no bugs encountered. It's just not good. I cannot recommend it. Please do not play it.
I won't.
Good.
So
the other game I wanted to talk about is, and I'm sure you've heard of this one, or at least I hope you have, High on Life. Have you seen High on
Rick
Life?
and Morty, the first-person shooter.
Yes. Have you seen that? It is a game by Justin Roiland, who is one half of the Rick and Morty team.
Yes. So with that actually sparked Greg into wanting to play video games.
Is Greg a Rick and Morty fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you somehow surprised by that one?
A tiny bit, just a hair though, like a very minute amount.
Okay.
But okay. So, do you like Rick and Morty? Yes or no? If yes, you will probably enjoy the game, keeping in mind it has no deep philosophical like things like Rick and Morty sometimes gets into. It's more just about the gross out weird humor that Justin Roiland does. Is it fun? Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like, it's not a bad game whatsoever. It's enjoyable. It's silly. I like how they designed the game with, like, the bounty system. You can freely explore the city and stuff like that. It's an enjoyable game. I haven't beaten it yet. I think I'm roughly about halfway through, but it's cool. It's a good game. It's not very long. I will say for $60, it's not a long game, and I think that game should have actually been like 40, maybe. I'm talking like 8 to 10 hours.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I gauge as a short game, is 8 to 10 hours.
I was gonna say.
but it's a fun first-person shooter game. It's silly. It's got all the Justin Roiland trademarks. Boy, if you do not want to hear Justin Roiland talk about dumb shit the entire time you are playing the game, don't play the game. Because, oh my god, it is... Justin Roiland likes to talk. And I don't know if you ever played Trevor Saves the Universe.
Nope.
Okay, that game had like 42 hours of ad-libs by Justin Roiland. Like 42 hours.
Yeah, I don't think I'll go near this one then. I'm just gonna pull myself back and
High on Life. No, it's a fun game, but if you cannot, you don't have to listen to 42 hours. You can just keep going, but it's going to be a lot of inane garbage.
Yeah.
It's funny, it's amusing, and it's weird, and I like it. I'm going to finish it. The entire premise is that a alien crime cartel has come to Earth because you can turn Earth into basically heroin. You can turn humans into basically like alien drugs.
So it's like that movie in I Come in Peace.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's a Dolph Lundgren one. It's an old one. And it's terrible.
Okay. But like one of the first things an alien does is like grab a human and then huffs him. And it's pretty great. Like smokes him like a hookah. It's pretty amusing. They're just turning Earth into basically like a drug factory. But yeah, I'm part of the way through that, and I will probably talk about it more on the next show when I finish it. If I don't get just Ragnaroked, all my time gets Ragnaroked.
Yeah, or Bayoneted.
We're gonna go with Ragnarok. We're gonna go with Ragnarok on that statement.
Fair enough.
How's Pokemon, by the way?
I kind of stopped playing it.
What? Why?
Because I was supposed to do a bunch of stuff with my buddies to help me get through a lot of things, and I realized our online subscription ran out, so
Oh yeah, you can't.
I lost interest.
Yeah, that's fair. Nothing is really driving me to pick that up anytime soon. I'm probably gonna. I may pick it up next year. I'm not sure. It's nothing's really like overwhelmingly. I don't have any urge to like play that game. Play it, Andrew.
I still have an urge to play it because I'm still enjoying it, but I just with having so much stuff locked behind that, like trading and stuff, it makes it really hard because a lot of the best functions are reliant on like the crystalline battles. The good ones are kind of you need online support, kind of like the Gigamax battles.
Yeah.
One of my starters was a Gengar. I mean a Haunter that I caught at level 3, and I now have him Haunter, and I need to get him to Gengar. So that requires trading.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I talked to you about last time, there's a lot of weird. They boasted about it being such an open world, but it's not in a way. It does like the old Pokemon games where you can only go so far without the HM or the special ability that you get from a certain thing that you have to do in the one town before you get to the other towns. So I kind of disappointed them because they kind of lied about it, but at the same time I can see where they didn't lie about it too, because it feels very open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's up and down.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't. Yeah. Well, whenever you do finish it, just let me know and give us a review for overall your feeling on it.
My overall feeling on it is Sword and Shield is better.
Okay, that is a feeling.
Because they did the open world feel a lot more. It was a lot more tight, a lot more focused. So yes, you had the open world feel where you could go like the main hub map. When you get to the first town, it's nice and open, and you can catch all kinds of Pokemon depending on what part you go to. There's dynamic weather that changes throughout the day, and it's the central hub areas splits off into like the more secluded areas, the more narrow passageway areas. So everything just felt connected. It felt a lot more cohesive. This is just like a big sprawling world, which I will say the map's done really well.
Yeah.
It's like they took that concept from X and Y and just spread it out, and they spread it out so far that it's so thin it doesn't feel as good.
Now, can you do all that review in the language used in Sword and Shield, which I believe is British English?
I don't have a very good British accent there.
You what, mate?
First of all, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be Cockney. The worst British accent.
You what? I got
but I will be getting back to it. If anything, I'll just get a $20 card for the year and play it. Be able to get on the most of the stuff.
That's fair.
But other than that, one thing I'd like to work with you. This is at the point where we got to do our 2022 first year, end of the year top 5, I guess.
So first year, end of the year, top 5.
Our first year is going to we should do a top 5.
Top 5 games played?
Yeah, like the ones that we liked the most.
Oh, like right now?
No.
Okay,
we have
right.
no, not right now. I'm saying in some point between now and New Year's, we should.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was gonna say if you're putting me on the spot, no, I wouldn't be able to think of them right now. But yeah,
I know one of your top 5.
Is it Elden
that
Ring?
me and you played for the show is Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's Elden Ring.
There you go. See, I got this.
I mean, that's clearly one of my top 5. I just said it was my favorite game of all time, so
we'll have to go with our one dumpster game.
One dumpster game.
Yeah, that disappointed us.
Oh, I got those.
I know you got those.
Yeah, I got those. I definitely got those. All right, yeah, I can whip that list up.
So we'll whip that up sometime during the week. We have Christmas break. I don't go back to work for another week and a half.
Yeah, I'm off work next week.
So there you all have some extra time. I'll have some extra time. We'll get some stuff done.
That sounds good. That sounds like a plan.
All right. So you'll hear from us next week on our movie side of things. At that point, we should have a nice review of You're a Mean One.
What is that?
It is a spoof of The Grinch. It's a horror movie version of The Grinch.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Along with, we should be finishing up Wednesday as well.
Oh, the series?
Yes.
I've heard that's good.
It is decent.
Okay.
So we'll be covering that next week. And then me and you will do some negotiations to figure out what we're going to do for the end of the year, New Year's.
Sounds good. Sounds
right.
like a good plan.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
All right, later.
Ho, ho, ho!